This is college basketball on ABC, presented by AmeriSave Mortgage, as we welcome you to the Big 12 on ESPN. Well, no word better describes one of the great in-state rivalry games in college basketball than Bedlam. And Chapter 1 of this year's rivalry takes place between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State now in Norman. These two teams will play twice in 3 days. The rematch in Stillwater on Monday night. We'll have that for you on ESPN. We've got Cade Cunningham. He, of course, leads the Pokes and leads the Big 12 in scoring. The second leading scorer in the league is Austin Reeves of Oklahoma. Those two square off today. Two of the favorites to win Big 12 Player of the Year. Again, everyone, Bob Wischusen, along with Dick Vitale, set to bring you Chapter 1 of Bedlam. And Dick, it's a very important game for both of these teams, especially with Oklahoma coming off of a very unexpected loss to Kansas State in their last game.
Well, the Sooners were really playing great prior to that. They had been 8-1 prior to that upset by Kansas State and really doing well. They jumped up to number 7 in the polls nationally. And now they take on Oklahoma State team. And Coach Boynton says, we don't like them. They don't like us. We don't like them. And we got to get this win. And Cade Cunningham, enough said. I am so excited. I charted that down. I circled the calendar knowing we were going to do this game. Why? He's projected to be the #1 player taken in the NBA draft. And all the conversations I've had with coaches this week, rave reviews. Rave. The real deal was what I heard from all the coaches.
Well, along with Jalen Suggs, Ayo Dosunmu, Colin Gillespie, and Jared Butler, Cade Cunningham is one of the final 5 for the Cousy Award. And he leads the Big 12 in scoring. But Austin Reeves, he missed a couple of games because of the COVID protocol. Outside of that, he has carried OU at times this year. #2 in scoring, #3 in assists in the Big 12. And he will go to the line here.
Well, it looked like he was getting them back in the win column also against Kansas State. And then at the end, Kansas State was able to pull it out, a couple dramatic threes. But this kid has been sensational since the year started. He's been absolutely dynamite. Taking the ball to the goal. He's a driver. He can shoot it. And he's usually outstanding on that free throw line.
Yeah, #1 in the Big 12 in free throw shooting at 87%. Keep your eyes on Cunningham at the left elbow, and Dick, he draws a lot of defensive attention. It seems 2 and 3 bodies are going at him every time he touches the ball, as Anderson tries a 3, and Avery Anderson knocks one down.
Well, they're more than just Cunningham. They got some really good players. Unfortunately for them today, one of the top players is not playing. A foot injury. Ice Likely. He's a guy very tough, really strong, physical player. I got my Fran Fraschilla calls him like a linebacker. Because of a linebacker, he's so tough.
Well, he's 6'5", 215 pounds, can play like a linebacker, that's for sure, as that drive is there for Davion Harmon. Likely missed a couple of games with the foot injury, came back last Monday against Texas Tech, played 33 minutes, but unable to go today. So Rondelle Walker gets the start.
Harmon's another key player, Bob. When you look at Oklahoma, he showed there that drive to the basket with the score.
Caleb Boone off balance and off the mark.
Well, the Boone brothers really got a little chip on their shoulder. They said Oklahoma didn't recruit us. Oklahoma didn't come after us, and we're from Oklahoma. And the same thing with the kid Rondelle Walker. So they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder, saying, hey, we think you guys made a mistake down there in certainly Sooner country.
Reeves, nice shot fake.
Tremendous shot fake, Bob. No doubt about it for you young kids out there. See how he kept his foot on the ground. A good, unbelievable first step is really tough. His stock is going up and up.
Cunningham in the lane, draws the foul.
One thing I love about Cunningham, researching for the game, Bob, and you've seen him more than I have, is the fact that he doesn't force shots. He's all about the team. He's all about doing things that will help us win. 6'8", I see a lot in him in terms of Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill, and that's exactly what was told to me by Coach Boynton. He sees a lot of those characteristics, and I just jinx him as usual when the kid goes for the line. You brag about him, and he comes up with a little brick. They won the last 3 games. They won 3 games in overtime. That's really unbelievable. Think about this. Florida State is 11-0 in their last 11 overtime games. That's incredible.
That is incredible. There's a great feature earlier today on College Game Day as well about Leonard Hamilton and where he came from and the obstacles he overcame early in his coaching career just to get an opportunity, and multiple programs that he has resurrected. One of those, of course, kind of got his head coaching start with Oklahoma State, and then eventually won a Big East championship in Miami, where there was not much of a fan base at all for the Hurricanes, and what a job he's done at Florida State.
Tell you one thing right there, they went to a little zone defense, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma was very patient on the offense. And then there's that range we talked about, Mr. Cunningham. Oh, baby, is he going to have quite a future. I'll project this, and talking to people, watching him on a little video, I will tell you this. I think he's an NBA All-Star his third year. Third year in the big leagues, he will be an All-Star.
Jalen Hill with the left hand. That's rejected by Caleb Boone.
Caleb Boone with the great shot block inside.
Nice job by Davion Harmon sagging back to knock away the entry pass. Harmon tries a three. Knocks him down.
Nice shooting right there by Harmon. Stepped into the shot, squared his body really well. Lon Kruger, what a job he's done everywhere he's been. The only coach to take five teams to the NCAA with a win. There's been two coaches that have taken five teams in terms of the NCAA tournament. Name the other one. A little sports trivia out there. Come on, people. Name the other one. Send it to me on Twitter. It's Twitter/DickieV. Who's the other coach that's taken five teams to the NCAA tournament?
What do we get if we win?
Well, he had five. When you took him Lon Kruger, he took five teams and won a game at each school in terms of the tournament. The other coach just took five teams, which is a great achievement as well.
Reeves double teamed in the corner. He is in a tough spot. Has to call timeout with 8 on the shot clock. So it's an early 1-point lead for Oklahoma. Bedlam Chapter 1 underway in Norman. Choosing Dick Vitale. 1-point early lead for OU over Oklahoma State. Chapter 1 of Bedlam, always a terrific rivalry game to be a part of. And Dickie V, not only is the rivalry game a big story, but every time we have a chance to see Cade Cunningham and his continued development, that's a story as well. We're expecting him to possibly be the #1 pick in the NBA draft.
Well, most of the NBA scouts and people I've talked to say it's a lock. If you got somebody else out there, who can it be? I mean, this kid has got the full package. Great size, vision, touch, unselfish, defends. He's got the entire package. He is one of those special players that comes along once in a great while. You know what I love about him? Loyalty. He could have easily said, you know what, I'm leaving here when they were put on probation, because he was eligible to go anywhere he wanted and be eligible immediately, and everybody was coming after him. You name him. He could have been America's guest. But he said, no, I want to play for Coach Boyd. I want to play with those guys. And he stayed here, and I'm hoping and praying they're going to be in the NCAA tournament.
And he gets the roll, so Cunningham off to a perfect 2-for-2 start from the field. Yeah, 11 of the 13 players that had the right to transfer when the allegations put them in a position where they may not play in the NCAA tournament. 11 of 13 players opted to stay and be a part of Mike Boynton's program, including Cunningham.
I think that really showed a lot of loyalty, and I think they're going to be in the tournament because they filed an appeal. And if the appeal is not heard, if it's not heard prior to selection Sunday, and they're selected, they have the right to play, even though they should win the appeal. I mean, they should win that appeal. I mean, he'd say, "You got to be kidding me!" They punished the right guy, the assistant coach who was involved there, Evans, and a nice offensive rebound right there. But I get amazed with the NCAA. Don't get me started on that, Bob. I want to watch it move. But it's a joke. It's absurd how long they take to make decisions. You got schools out there charged with allegations, and it's been years and waiting for an answer. And not getting an answer is a joke because it affects everybody. Because if they're guilty and those guys are out recruiting players, taking them away from programs doing it the right way, that is sad. I mean, I could understand a year or two. But 5 years to make decisions, give me a break.
I guess I got you started.
Oh, battle out of class, man. Really going after it. No love here between these two teams.
Cunningham leaves one for Rondelle Walker. That's a little too strong.
Little bedlam out here. Bedlam battle, man. Oklahoma State. kids at Oklahoma State said they didn't even recruit us. Walker and the Boone guys. They said they didn't recruit us. And we're angry about that. No respect.
Reeves lost his balance trying to kick it out to Jalen Hill. Cunningham will drive it the other way, off the window and through.
Size made that happen for him. He got the great vision, the angle on the glass. What a talent, multi-talented, special, absolutely special. To me, Bob, this game is more important right now, I think, for Oklahoma. And I'm going to tell you why. It's on their home court. They got to play them again on Monday down in Gallagher, where it's not going to be easy. And I will tell you this. I think this game coming off a loss from Kansas State, I think it's very important they get back on the right track with a W at home.
Well, this game was supposed to be played back in January. It was a COVID postponement, and you may have just seen, we had it up on the screen, how rare it is that Oklahoma and Oklahoma State would play each other twice in a 3-day span. 1921 was the last time that Bedlam was played 2 times in 3 days, but in this most odd year of years in college basketball and all of sports, of course, it seems only appropriate that they're playing twice in 3 days this year.
You know, I wasn't even here in 1921. Wow, that's one time I wasn't around. Unbelievable. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, I think you missed that by 1 year, right? There's a deep jumper for Rondelle Walker plus the foul.
Rondelle said, see, if you recruited me and I was wearing your uniform, you wouldn't get hurt like here. He said, you should have recruited me. Should have recruited me. That's range, baby. That's range. That's range. Nothing but now on NBN. Wow. Wow.
On ABC is presented by AmeriSave Mortgage. Lower mortgage rates mean higher savings. Some celebs in cardboard cutout Celebrity Row. There's Trae Young. I think we saw Buddy Hield, who of course was part of a group for Lon Kruger and went to the Final Four. And Lon Kruger, first home game since February 6th because of the COVID postponements and even a weather postponement, a game, Dick, that they were supposed to play against Texas, but that game also had to be postponed with everything that went on in mid-February down in the middle of the state of Texas. So it's been a while since OU played in Norman.
I'll tell you one thing, when you look at his numbers and what he's achieved at 5 schools, it's amazing. He should be in the conversation as a Hall of Fame coach. There's no doubt in my mind. Guys, 5 different schools to the NCAA tournament, Kansas State, Florida, Illinois, Minnesota, Texas. Oh, that was Mr. Smith there. But Mr. Kruger has done an incredible job when you think he's taken the likes of Kansas State, Florida, Illinois, Oklahoma. I mean, just unbelievable what he's achieved. UNLV as well.
Cunningham, a step-back 3 won't go. Long rebound to Caleb Boone.
He's got that great vision. Cunningham sees right up top. He's going to use that screen.
Looks like Keelan Boone stepped on the sideline. Well, what a night of college basketball we have for you on ESPN and the app. After this game, we've got 2 more that should be great. Dukes won 4 straight and are now firmly on the bubble. They'll host Louisville at Cameron at 6 Eastern. Then it's a Big 12 battle between Baylor and Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse as number 2 Baylor gets back in action later on tonight with a very important game against Kansas. Kansas has been hot of late, lost an overtime game to Texas earlier this week, but it has been a second half of the Big 12 schedule rebound for Bill Self's Jayhawks.
Tell you one thing, that game tonight, will this be the first loss for Baylor tonight? Could happen. I'm telling you right now, it could happen the way Kansas has been playing. Other than the game, they just lost a heartbreaker. You know, getting back to Lon Kruger, though, again, he's the only coach to win an NCAA tournament game, 5 different Division I schools. He's the only coach to lead 3 different schools to the Sweet 16 since the tournament expanded in 64. 672 career wins. I mean, why don't we ever hear his name being mentioned as a potential Hall of Famer? He had that one, situation on his unbelievable resume, went to the NBA for 3 years, where his numbers would even be a lot higher.
Yeah, you're right. He'll get there. He will get there.
I'm a big fan, certainly, of Lon Kruger. Learned a lot from Jack Hartman, who played for him. From a great coach.
An offensive rebound to Matthew Alexander Moncrief, but he stepped on the end line. So back-to-back Oklahoma State possessions where they step out of bounds.
Mom was quite an athlete, too. He's a young guy, really keeps himself in great shape there. Joe Castiglione, who I think is as good as an AD as there is in America, really raves about Lon Kruger. Not only as a coach, as just a person as well. He's the kind of guy you want your kids around.
Reeves, a little pick and roll action. And that will get Victor E. Walker to the free throw line.
Nice little two-man play. Hey, a little casual approach on that sideline. I really, I like it. I think, first of all, you're at work here. I mean, you're going to dress up in your suits, sweating like crazy. I remember Gary Williams. I mean, I read an article Bob Huggins said. He was so drenched in sweat when he's coaching at Cincinnati. He went at halftime. The AD said, hey, you should change your shirt, man. You should change your shirt. And he changed it, and he hasn't changed back. He's been that way casual since then. Unbelievable. I really like it. Yeah, I like the casual look. We got the casual look. It's cool. I like it.
You're cool. I don't think anybody would ever look at you in your casual look and use any word other than cool. Well, you agree?
I got a lot of ESPN shirts, man. I got all kinds of colors. I know you're laughing because you've seen them all.
I don't think I've seen them all. I don't think any human being has ever seen all of your ESPN shirts. I don't think it's possible. No one's been alive that long.
I'm proud of those 4 letters. It's me a life that succeeded my dreams.
We all are. We all wish we would end up with the swag you've got as Moncrief tries to drive it, and it will stay with Oklahoma State stripped out of bounds by Walker.
When I see that name, Moncrief, there's one guy comes to my mind. King Sidney, baby. Sidney. Was he special with the Razorbacks? And Eddie Sutton, who, by the way, did such a great job also when he was at Oklahoma State.
Moncrief will go to the line.
This Moncrief spells his name a little differently. Still pronounced the same way. I just mentioned Eddie Sutton, and really, it breaks my heart, Bob. It breaks my heart when I think about this year. John Thompson passed. I think Eddie Sutton is gone. Billy Tubbs did such a great job at Oklahoma. I think of Lute Olson. I'm going to probably leave some guys out. Lou Henson. I think of Lou Henson. I think of my buddy Smokey Gaines. I think John Chaney. I mean, it's unbelievable. All those people have meant so much to the landscape of college basketball. And today they're, up in heaven, up in hoops heaven.
Runs of the family for Moncrief, #1 recruit from Canada. His cousins, Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Pretty good bloodlines.
Pretty good. Well, what he's doing now in the NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is incredible with the Oklahoma Thunder. There's that zone. They're playing a little. They start out with a 1-1-3, and then they use the tandem. He drops back. It really becomes almost like a 2-3. Now, foul line area is wide open. Foul line area wide open.
And Elijah Harkless takes advantage to give OU the lead.
Yeah, they did a great job getting into that space. There was good spacing up there in that foul line. Recognized, you could see that they practiced that, anticipated that coming.
That pass to nowhere. Moncrief, the intended target of the Keelan Boone pass. It's a turnover, and Boone will head to the bench as Cunningham comes back on.
See, watch here. Go right into the foul line area. There's a big gap and seam in the zone there, and he's going to catch the ball. He's going to reverse the ball. He's going to slide back to 24. Harkless, there it is, wide open. Squares his body really well. Good anticipation. Just well coached. Both these clubs. These coaches know what they're doing, man. They really do.
There's Harkless at the free throw line again. This time he bounces one low, and it created an opportunity at the rim for Walker, but he turned it over.
Yeah, Walker had an opportunity, but they really rotated quickly to him. Really rotated quickly.
Long-range jumper's a brick for Farron Flavors.
Had no flavor on that baby. That was a Dickie V shot. Oh, wide open. Good ball reversal.
Alondas Williams couldn't pay it off, but ends up with his own miss. Cross court to Davion Harmon. That's his first miss from the field. Tough catch for Caleb Boone.
Yeah, it was a tough pass, tough play.
He turned it over.
Tough play for him to make there in that sequence. Really tough play. Cade Cunningham's brother's on the coaching staff.
Will Cade Cunningham be the #1 player in the NBA draft? And what is it that adds to his game to get him there? We'll talk about that when we come back. It's in Dick Vitale, Bedlam and Cade Cunningham, and Dickie V, he's a special player to watch.
Well, he's got the range as a shooter. That's one of his great skills. And he takes good shots. His versatility, multi-talented, no question about it. He can pass the basketball. He can rebound. He squares his body in clutch situations, makes big shots. I read an article written and preparing for the game in terms of by Jacob Unruh of the Oklahoma City paper. As you take a look right here, there's some of the plays right now. There's the jumper today, right in the corner, the wing, got the tap off the bounce, got the little, backs it up, step back, little jumper in the lane. And watch this play right here. Shows his ability and versatility right here. Great angle, lays it on the glass. The great size made that happen. But I was reading this article by Jacob Unruh of the Oklahoma City News. And in that article, they talk about Mike Boynton was quoted saying in the article that, you know, it's really amazing. He's way better because you got to think about this. The expectations were so high coming in here, and he's lived up to them and more, and he's such a great teammate. And he said, that is special when everybody knows you're supposed to be good, and you respond. And he's responding against double teams, triple teams, zone defenses, matchups, you name it. He's not going to face that on the NBA level. He's going to face more one-on-one, playing around with great talent around him. His numbers are going to go way up. Trust me, in the NBA. He's a multi-skilled talent.
Nice hands by Umoja Gibson to create the turnover. What a take back by Cunningham. The baseball pass, hit ahead and cruising in. Oh, what a job by Harkless to get back on defense and swat it away from Avery Anderson.
I mean, that was a great defense play. It's a highlight play right there.
And then Cunningham steps into a three.
And it led to a big three. It led to a big three to his teammate. Hey, Cunningham is the beneficiary, but it was the block shot that was special by Harkless. That was a defensive dynamite play. There's that active zone. The foul line area is open. Not going to match up. That area is open. You got to make that little jump shot. I can make that shot, Bob. I can make that shot.
I don't know about that.
No, I can. I swear I can make that shot even at 81.
Could you block the shot the way Harkless did at the other end? You have that in your toolkit?
No chance. I never played defense. I remember one thing when I was a high school kid. The guy that had all the girls chasing him was the guy that scored points. And I didn't score double points. So I had nobody chasing me.
Turns it over, and it's taken away by Cunningham.
Cunningham. I mean, I could watch the magic of this kid. I love watching great talents.
Nice job by Austin Reeves to get set and take the charge. How about this high flyer? Elijah
Harkless get back defensively. Watch this. Look at him get back defensively. And he gets the great A. Oh, wow. That is tremendous hustle in transition defensively. Wow, what a great play.
What a find he has been for Lon Kruger. A transfer from Cal State Northridge, who was just kind of a jack-of-all-trades high school player that didn't get on the national recruiting scene until he went to Cal State Northridge, wanted to transfer to a higher level, and he is a diamond in the rough discovered by Lon Kruger. Here's Manick inside.
Manick's been real quiet the last few games, Bob. They got to get him going. When he gets going and scoring on the interior, it helps the game of Austin Reeves as well with his penetration ability and driving ability. But Manick has really, if you looked at his numbers recently, they have really been not what he's capable of.
Even in the loss on Tuesday night to Kansas State, he was 1 of 7 from the field, 0 for 5 from three-point land, and only scored 2 points. This week's NBA Saturday primetime matchup presented by AT&T 5G on ABC and the ESPN app. Luka and the Mavs play the second game of a 3-game road trip against the Nets and the Beard. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And boy, it's amazing that the Kyrie, KD, Beard trio has only played a handful of games together. It always seems like at least one of those guys is missing. Right now, it's Kevin Durant, and the Nets just don't seem to ever lose.
And they're really playing well together. Irving and certainly Harden. And don't forget Harris shooting the three. I'm going to tell you one thing. When they get Mr. Durant, that threesome could be lethal for people in the playoffs. Hey, Doncic, you know what's amazing? He's only, I believe, 20 years old, 21 years old. It's hard to believe that when you watch him get 30 almost every night.
He took the Dickie V advice. Apparently the girls like the guy who gets all the buckets.
Well, Manic better start making some shots. He came in school with Trae Young. They came together there. You talk about a guy that made, I mean, big time. Trae Young has done an amazing job. I thought he was going to be an all-star. I really did. Surprised he didn't make the team.
There's Manic on the rebound of the Anderson miss.
They're going to get Manic going offensively, get back his confidence and his swag on the offensive end.
Stepping into a three is Elijah Harkless.
Harkless really has played well. He has really stepped up. You know, you look at Oklahoma State, I really believe they missed when you think about it, the kid Likely, because I've heard great things about him. I love his nickname, Ice. But to me, there's only one Ice. Mr. Gold.
Miscommunication as Rondelle Walker throws one away. It's a 2-point lead for Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. The first of two Bedlam matchups in 3 days.
Hey, you're right about that. I had a little layup range. And I'll tell you this, I hear you guys going to tease about who's the best team in basketball. You must have heard me the other night in that Michigan game. I said, hey, move over. I'm telling you right now, I think Michigan can win the whole national championship. They put the hurt on Indiana today at Indiana, and I mean the hurt. It would be really a nightmare for Hoosier basketball with the entire tournament going to be in Indiana, and if they don't make it, and they're 3 games under 500. And I know they play a tough conference. We all know that. But you know what? When you're below the Mendoza line, you take that choice to play in those conferences, you got to at least be 500. Come on now. I have a problem. 3 under. You get so many opportunities in those leagues. Opportunities. And a little guy doesn't. Yes, there's no question the Big Ten is a great conference, and the Big 12, they're the top 2. You don't have to go to Harvard to know that. I'm a dummy.
But not only that, Dick, I think it shows the freight train that a team like Baylor has been when they've been on the floor, and now a team like Michigan, to be a one-loss team and to just be pouring over the competition. And as you said, the league that I think everyone universally thinks is the deepest and toughest this season. Michigan has been tremendous.
I really think tonight, I really have a funny feeling tonight. I love Baylor. They've been hit with that COVID that's really hurt them big time. But I think you people tune in tonight, that Kansas-Baylor game. I think Kansas is going to find a way at home to pull an upset, if you call it an upset. I don't call it that big of an upset.
Reeves to Gibson in the corner to extend the Oklahoma lead.
Nice pass by Reeves. Reeves been quiet offensively, but he really right there made a good pass, and Gibson delivered. You know, Cade Cunningham, if you look at his numbers, he's really a stronger player in the second half than he is in the first half when you look at stats.
Avery Anderson. That won't go. Here comes Davion Harmon. Looks like a foul called on a reach-in by Bryce Williams when he thought he had a deflection on the pass. And I think Mike Boynton thought the same.
Yep.
Not many fouls called here in the first half. Only 3 on Oklahoma in the entire first half so far, and that's the 5th on Oklahoma State.
You know, Bob, you see a situation when you lose a key player this time of the year, like in their case, losing the kid Likely, that's a major blow to you. To the rhythm, timing, confidence. A kid's a really effective player.
Well, hopefully they'll get him back for this stretch run and the Big 12 tournament as Harkless tries one from the corner. And Moncrief pulls it down.
He's got a foot injury. He missed 2 games because of that foot injury. Then came back in a win against Texas Tech, and he played 31 minutes.
Caleb Boone does not get the roll. Another rebound for Harmon.
That baby was in. Nice little play by Caleb in the lane. Just gets bad break on the ball and spins out.
Austin Reeves has been quiet. Scored 4 of OU's first 6 points. Hasn't scored since 2 minutes gone by, but Davion Harmon has picked up the slack, to say the least. Terrific first half for Harmon. He's got 14.
Yeah, Harmon really coming up big, shooting over that zone right now. These next 2 minutes are big here for Oklahoma State.
Cunningham lost his footing. Harkless the other way.
Reeves
tried the reverse, and he is fouled hard by Avery Anderson. And he will shoot 2.
He's one guy you don't want to put in a free throw line. Oh, man. You know, I mentioned ice before. There's only one ice. Let me quickly share this with you. When I first started out coaching, they told me when I came to Detroit, my buddy, Smokey Gates, said, you got to go to St. Cecilia. So I go down there to see all these great players, and they're playing shirts. They're playing shirts and skins, and I'll finish it on the other side as soon as this is over.
Bob Wischusen, Dick Vitale, Bedlam, a 7-point lead for Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. Dick Vitale in the middle of a story a moment ago about what, recruiting back in your days at Detroit?
Yeah, you know, first went to the St. Cecilia League. Every great player played there. Shirts and skins. You stay on the court if you win. So I walk in. First time I'm making my debut there. Sam Washington ran, a great guy. That's the tremendous love, kids. All of a sudden, I want you this little skinny guy shooting jumpers at the net. I grab my son and say, we got to get that kid. Look at that kid. He doesn't miss. He says, we can't get him. He's already committed to Eastern Michigan.
Bedlam, a 7-point lead for Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. Dick Vitale in the middle of a story a moment ago about what, recruiting back in your days at Detroit?
Yeah, you know, first went to the St. Cecilia League. Every great player played there. Shirts and skins. You stay on the court if you win. So I walk in. First time I'm making my debut there. Sam Washington ran, a great guy. That's the tremendous love, kids. All of a sudden, I want you this little skinny guy shooting jumpers at the net. I grab my son and say, we got to get that kid. Look at that kid. He doesn't miss. He says, we can't get him. He's already committed to Eastern Michigan. Well, let me tell you this. It was the Iceman, watching the Iceman, Mr. Gervin, and he hasn't missed since he started playing in the NBA either. He was unreal. But you saw every great play. When I was there that time, I had Campanella Russell. That's magic. He's been there to play throughout his high school career. A great place. St. Cecilia League in Detroit. Still exists. Sam Washington's young son is running it now. Earl Curitan played there. John Long, Terry Tyler, guys I coached. Just a great place.
Well, you didn't get the Iceman, and Oklahoma State doesn't have Ice Likely for the 3rd time in 4 games. They won the other 2 games without him when they were missing him, but that was against Kansas State and Iowa State. This is a different task today on the road against a top 10 Oklahoma team, and a foul called on Brady Manick with the shot clock winding down, and not much of a crowd at Lloyd Noble, but they didn't like that call. As you can see, Likely 2nd in the Big 12 in minutes per game, and he stuffs the box score just everywhere. Doesn't have to score to impact the game, so Dick, he has missed.
Yeah, defensively, steals. He's up there as a steals leader at Oklahoma State.
Nice out of bounds underneath. It gets Caleb Boone a layup.
Nice little out of bounds play. Poor job defensively by Oklahoma. Let's see ball man. You got to watch both. Got to match up. Stay with that zone, and then they keep going.
And the foul to Queth.
We're hurting them, and Queth gets the line. They go to the foul line. You come at the guy in the foul line. They dump it off. They're a well-coached team, man. They really have worked. You can see in analyzing that zone.
Cunningham connects again. He's got 13.
Put the ball in his hands. You got to put the ball in his hands. He is so good, it's unreal. See, this is not on the foul line. That foul line has been a nightmare. Use him as a relay guy as well as a passer. He's been real quiet.
Double teamed here. Harkless with 7 to shoot. Drives it, bounces to Queth, and that was snatched away by Cunningham.
What a defensive play. And look at the pass.
Piece it ahead, and Avery Anderson has it slapped away, so he will keep possession in the front court, but a terrific defensive play by Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, he made a great defensive steal, no question. And then his passing ability was unbelievable as well. As he went right here, watch this on the foul line area. There's wide open at the foul line. They get there, they attack that foul line area, usually as a passer or a scorer.
Leaning in is Moncrief.
Nice little play by Moncrief. Used his body exceptionally well. What people didn't realize, because they didn't score, if it was a tremendous pass by Cunningham after making the defensive standout play. 8
seconds in the half. Austin Reeves pulls up at the elbow. He's got his first bucket in a while. And here is Cunningham baseballing one to the other end. So it's a 7-point lead for Oklahoma over Oklahoma State at halftime of Chapter 1 of Bedlam. Second half coming up after the halftime report with Seth Greenberg in the studio. Let's get to Kevin Connors. Kevin.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. 14 for Davion Harmon to lead the way. Cade's got 13. The Sooners lead it at the half. Meantime, earlier in the Big 12, third straight game for Texas against the top 17 team, Coach Seth Greenberg, but the Red Raiders showed no mercy.
Yeah, the Red Raiders, think about their identity. Their identity is built on the defensive end. They check you, they force you to shoot a contested shot, they rebound the ball, and then they share the basketball. That's what they did today.
If Terrence Shannon is giving them that, they are a dangerous team.
He's got a little Kelly Oubre in his game, don't you think?
I like it.
Terrence Shannon's got to run the floor, he's got to get to the glass, and he's got to play downhill.
5 players in double figures today for Texas Tech. They win at 68-59. It's a Red Raiders team, Coach, that's starting to come together.
Yeah, you can't rely just on Matt McClung. You see 5 guys in double figures. When they get 5 guys in double figures, it puts great pressure on the defense. And on the other end, their identity is built on the defensive end. Today they hold a Texas team to 37 from the field and 24 from the three-point line. That's Red Raider basketball.
A couple of winnable games coming up. They close the season against Baylor. Coach Seth Greenberg, Kevin Connors here in studio. We got a tight one in Norman. I'm curious which of these two teams, Oklahoma State, is more capable of making a tournament run.
I like Oklahoma State, but it's Oklahoma. And when I think about Oklahoma, they don't turn it over. They don't give you second shots. They've got a terrific backcourt and versatility in their backcourt. And they've got an experienced coach who's been to multiple Final Fours. Mike Boynton's doing a terrific job. Love the way Cade Cunningham has been aggressive. But if I had to bet on one right now, it would be Oklahoma. Just to me, the consistency in which they play.
By the way, Oak State missing Ice Likely today.
Yeah, to me, he's the heart of that basketball team. If Cade Cunningham's the soul of the team, Ike Likely, he is the heart of that team. They play off of his energy.
13 for Cade for the Cowboys at the break. Meantime, a busy rest of the day in college basketball. The Michigan Wolverines, since the COVID pause, they've been dynamic. Coach taking on Indiana today. These Wolverines are a matchup nightmare.
Yeah, Franz Wagner, how good has he been? This Michigan team, they've got the best wings in college basketball. Zay Livers and Wagner are the best wings. You talk about size, length, skill, and floor games. These two guys are absolutely phenomenal.
How about the job Hunter Dickinson has done in the past 2 games against Garza and Jackson Davis?
The dude is a mountain masquerading as a man. We haven't used it much this year. And Juwan Howard is the national coach of the year. Preseason top 25, 25th. Right now, they're the best team in college basketball.
16-10 for Livers, 21-6 for Wagner, 73-57. Say that again. I thought it was Gonzaga and Baylor, Coach. They've dominated the conversation.
I think Michigan right now, in this moment in time, they are the best team in college basketball, and they got a huge game coming up on Tuesday, by the way, on ESPN, against Illinois. Hopefully, Ayo Dosunmu will be healthy. That Kofi Coler and Hunter Dickinson matchup will be interesting, obviously in the backcourt as well. The one thing Illinois doesn't have, they don't have those big athletic wing guys that can make plays like Wagner, obviously, in Livers.
Speaking of the Fighting Illini, no Ayo again today, dealing with a facial injury. And, Coach, in the first half, the Illini shot 65% from the field.
Yeah, when they weren't throwing the ball away, they were scoring buckets. They had 12 turnovers in the first half and still were up 11. But, that's baby Shaq right there. Kofi Coler, that's baby Shaq. You get him the ball in the block, he's going to finish. He's hard to keep off the glass. And I actually think without Ayo, this team is gaining experience playing without him, which they might have to do at some point in the NCAA tournament.
DeMonte Williams, Jacob Grandison, the open 3. The Illini lead it by 11 in the second half. What do you think? 10 Big 10 teams, 7 from the Big 12? What do you think?
Well, 7 for sure from the Big 12. And when you say 10 Big 10 teams, I've got to see what happens with Indiana. Eventually, they've got to win some games. Michigan State got a big game tomorrow against Maryland, and then they got the big week against Michigan. Those 2 games will be huge for Sparty.
It's been a huge first half for Cade Cunningham. So much for the knock that he doesn't start well. He's got 13 through 20 minutes of basketball, but the Sooners lead this one by 7 at the break.
Presented by AmeriSave Mortgage. Just about set for the start of the second half between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Bedlam, and it's a 7-point lead for OU. Bob Wischusen and Dick Vitale set for the start of the second half. And Dickie V, 5 of 7 from the field in the first half for Cade Cunningham. The rest of his teammates, though, were 7 of 23 in support of Cunningham. So pretty good defense from Oklahoma against everyone not named Cade Cunningham in the first half.
Well, Oklahoma's done a solid job defensively and executing really well offensively, too, attacking that zone. But the situation is, I think Cade is too unselfish. I really do. He's a very unselfish player, but the defense has been tough. They took the defense, converted, and you can't say enough about Davian Harmon. He was unbelievable in the first half. He's a driver slash. He can shoot if he gets the open look. There's a look at the numbers. They're unbelievably impressive. I mean, 13, the kid has done it all. He's only taken 7 shots. The situation is he's going to look for his shot a little bit more, and you got to find him.
And does he project in the NBA as a big point guard? When we look at some of the big point guards through the years, back in the 60s, of course, the Big O dominated. Then Magic in the 80s, Penny in the 90s, Ben Simmons and Luka Doncic of today. Cade Cunningham at 6'8". Mike Schmitz is our ESPN NBA draft analyst, and he's been watching Cade Cunningham for a long time and sizing up the board. Mike, it's Bob Wischusen and Dick Vitale. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us. In your opinion, is Cade Cunningham the #1 pick in the NBA draft, or is there some debate still there?
Without question, he's the most complete prospect in this draft. And if you look at where the league is trending, every team wants one of those big playmakers, 6'8", who can play pick and roll, who can score out of the post. He reminds me a little bit of a Luka Doncic type, honestly. Just has that size, can see over the top, can hit the roll man, can hit the weak side shooter, and then can also go get a bucket as well. So to me, he's the most complete prospect in this draft.
You know, Mike, to me, I look at him, he's very unselfish, really an unselfish player. He plays within the teamwork, the framework of a team, and that was very impressive when you see, because he's not just out there hunting shots, looking for points. He's looking to win.
Yeah, he makes everyone around him better. And if you looked at him in high school, he played the point guard position. He played for one of the most successful high school teams we've ever seen at Montverde. He had Moses Moody on the wing, Day'Ron Sharp, Caleb Houston, some absolute studs around him, and he's a big-time winner. You know, I went out to Stillwater, sat down with him, watched some film, and I felt like I was talking to an NBA veteran just with his approach and how he sees the game. And he's really overcome any questions, any weaknesses people had, you know, about his shooting coming into the season, shooting it really well today and really well in the season.
And he's going to get better and better shooting, Mike, no question. He's going to get better and better with when he becomes an NBA player. And he's going to be surrounded with better players. You're not going to see the double teams and the triple teams.
Yeah, teams have tried to get the ball out of his hands. You know, they've blitzed him in pick and roll, hard hedges, and trying to, you know, force these other players to beat them. And he's not going to see that as much in the NBA when he has 40% three-point shooters on the wing, a guy who can finish above the rim at the center spot. So his game really is tailor-made to today's NBA.
Mike, if there's a hole in his game, what would it be? If there was one concern for the NBA where maybe you wouldn't say Cade Cunningham is the no doubt about it #1 pick, what would they be looking at?
I think defensive intensity, he can still improve in that area in terms of bringing it every single possession. You know, he would probably be the first one to tell you that. I think finishing in the lane as well. You know, if you look at his last 5 games, I mean, he's shooting under 40% from 2. You know, he's not this run and jump big time athlete, and I think that's where he's been why he's been kind of an acquired taste for some NBA scouts and executives. But like I said, you know, when you're 6'8", you have that type of length, you can play really anywhere 1 through 4 on both ends of the floor. You know, that's the modern NBA, and that's what teams like about him. And all of his weaknesses are areas where he's certainly going to improve, you know, as he progresses throughout his career.
You know, Mike, I hear a lot of people tell me they see a lot of comparison with Ben Simmons. I don't see it as much because Simmons certainly doesn't look to shoot the 3 at all. If he takes 1 or 2 a year, it's a lot. This kid can shoot the 3. I mean, the penetration ability's there, his passing ability, and I just think his vision. I see a lot of Penny Hardaway, and I see some Grant Hill in the kid when I look at this young guy, Cunningham.
Yeah, I don't see the Simmons comparison, you know, quite as much. I think it's more one of these guys who can score it at all 3 levels and make everyone around him better. So you'll hear names like a Doncic. You'll hear, you know, anywhere from Jason Tatum to Chris Middleton, you know, and I think that's what teams love about him is you can view him as a guy who can play off the ball and on the ball as well, whereas Ben is more a playmaker with the ball in his hands, a much better defender, probably a better athlete. But some of those names you mentioned, there are certainly some similarities there.
Mike, thanks for helping us out. We appreciate it. That was terrific perspective.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Schmitz, you got it, our ESPN NBA draft analyst. And here is Cade Cunningham putting up a 17-footer. Offensive rebound. Coming up short, but getting it again is Boone. And it's knocked out of bounds. Or check that. That was Moncrief, so it will stay with Oklahoma State down by 7. About 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half.
I thought he did an excellent job in his evaluation process. I really did. And I also think that Mike Boynton has done a heck of a job in coaching Cade Cunningham. They seem to have a great relationship, and he really just praises the kind of teammate he is, his desire to want to get better each and every day.
Could have had an assist if Bryce Williams would have connected from the corner. A scramble for it between Reeves and Walker, and it ends up with Reeves. And now Davion Harmon, who is red hot in this game, 7 of 8 from the field. And ends up getting shut down in the lane. Quick trigger. Gibson way short. Manick saves it. And numbers for Oklahoma State.
Harmon's been the star of stars, man. He's really played well.
Avery Anderson follows his miss.
Nice play by Anderson. They're coming back here. Right now, they were down 11, down to 5. They're scrapping on the glass, playing really hard. And as we said earlier, there's a lot of intensity, a lot of passion. We don't see it because we were not there, but I'm telling you, these two schools, they get after it big time against each other.
Austin Reeves thought he was bumped. Second effort. That won't go for Hill. Jalen Hill at the free throw line. Another opportunity for OU. But a whistle, and it looks like it was an OU turnover.
I'll tell you one thing, the striped shirts are letting them play. They're really battling a lot of physicality on that floor right now. Lon Kruger wanted the whistle ahead. He said, where's the whistle? Where's the whistle? Come on, help me out. What a job he did with the Gators in Illinois. He's done a great job everywhere he has been on the collegiate level. Great teacher. They really did such an excellent job in that first half, attacking that zone, shooting 50%.
And the finish by Moncrief.
Moncrief really doing a good job. Very active.
Davion Harmon. That one in and out, but it looked good for a guy that's 7 of 8 from the field before that attempt. Rondelle Walker traveled.
Yeah, Walker walked right there, but I'm going to tell you something else about Cade Cunningham. Never seems to want to force the action. Seems to have a real strong basketball IQ, especially on the offensive end. Oh, nice little lob. The jam. Up and away.
Being in contention for all these awards is a blessing. You know, it's crazy to hear my name with all the top players in the country in my first year and everything. All the credit goes to my teammates. To allow freshmen to come in and have them embrace me how they have, it's really a team award for anything that I might win. And, you know, I'm not going to receive it solely. I'm going to receive it as a teammate, and all my teammates are winning that same award with me.
Well, you name the lists, including the Wooden Award, the late season top 20. Cade Cunningham is on that list. Also in the final 5 for the Cousy Point Guard Award. And Dick, you'd have to say, is right up at the top of the debate for Big 12 Player of the Year, along with Austin Reeves, who has the basketball. Reeves is #1 in the league in scoring in Big 12 play, and he's been terrific for Oklahoma.
Also, don't forget, when you look at Baylor, you look at Davion Mitchell, you look at Butler, those guys got to be in the chatter too. Nice drive right there.
What a finish.
Tremendous drive. Really changed direction, changed tempo really well. You know, I got a kid, Cade Cunningham, the Wendy's watch, McDonald's All-American. He's got a lot of hamburgers, man. He's Wendy's, he's McDonald's. He's got the whole package. Wow.
Yeah, one look at me, you realize why I'm jealous. A reach in by Brady Manick, who has had a very quiet day on senior day. But it's a great debate for Big 12 Player of the Year. I mean, the one thing probably holding Jared Butler back, if anything, has been that Baylor hasn't played much. They've played, 5 to 7 games less because of COVID and all of the outages in Texas than the rest of the Big 12, generally speaking. But it's a great list and a great debate.
Well, that could be his all-star, all Big 12 team right there. You're looking at McClung certainly has had some great moments with Texas Tech, who had a win today. McBride's done a great job of Bob Huggins' West Virginia team.
Jared Culver's averaging
special.
He's averaging a double-double. 3-point lead for OU. Harkless gets to the rim. It's good, plus the foul.
I'll tell you one thing. When you look at Harmon and you look at Harkless, they have really stepped up their game here and have really been productive here for the Oklahoma Sooners. Now watch this right now. There's the screen up on top. And now he spots the opening. They've got the roll down the lane. He could have thrown a little hook pass to his teammate for a layup. But he decided, you know, I don't need that. I'm going to go right to the goal and I'm going to score. And he did it. I'm going to tell you one thing, you know, you look at this Mike Boynton's 4th year. He's got some good people on his staff as well. Scott Sutton and his son. He's got Barry Hinson, a veteran coach. And he's been around. He was an assistant at Coastal Carolina, Wofford, South Carolina, Stephen F. Austin, Oklahoma State. He's earned the right to where he's at. Won 21 games in 2018. And this could be a year where they break that stride in terms of a winning record in the Big 12.
Harmon saves it, and it will stay with Oklahoma as he was able to bank it off Bryce Williams.
One of the most valuable assistants right there. That's Cade Cunningham's brother. I mean, pretty good getting him. And he really knows his basketball. You know, people say, well, he came in with his brother. This guy knows his basketball. The research I've done talking to coaches. And it's not the first time this has happened. I mean, let's face it, it's happened in basketball quite often.
Yeah, he and Cannon have a very special relationship. There's no question.
He works with him one-on-one all the time. Helps him. Has great love for his brother, respect for him. A little weave up on top by Oklahoma. A little motion, a little screen high. They want to get Reeves on a drive. There it is. They wanted to get him on a drive, and they got it. They executed that to perfection. Oh, wow. Did you hear the VBDI say that, Bob?
12 for Reeves. It's almost like you coached.
Coach better in TV and never lose. 42 years. I got a better record than Krzyzewski. I leave with a W every night because the bank goes ding, ding, ding.
Cunningham draws the foul.
Foul was charged to Kirk West, number 52. His first, and the team.
Talk about the intangibles. Look at this here. Leadership skills. He's grabbing the whole team together like a coach. I mean, right here, look at this. This is the intangibles you like about a talented player. We know he's got the skills. He was in traffic. Always knows where teammates are, has the great vision. Good free throw shooter. What I like about him is the fact that he can make shots. There are a lot of guys who can handle, go to the goal, and they come up empty and they can't make shots. I like guys that make shots. There's no substitute for it. I mean, I talked to Jimmy Larinaga about him the other day. I talked to Fran McCaffrey, Juwan Howard. They all rave about him. I haven't heard one guy say, oh, well, I don't know. He does, you know, people always try to search for the negatives in someone rather than looking at the positives. I try to look at the glass half full, not half empty. I've always believed in that. I think positive. Look here, he's got a lot of positives.
I think for Cade Cunningham, the glass about 97% filled. As Reeves draws a foul. Tomorrow, the Undefeated presents A Room of Our Own, a 1-hour special that explores the connection that black athletes have with music and the impact that association has in powering social movements. It premieres at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and the app, with an encore presentation at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC. Freddie Gibbs, Jensen McCrae, part of the hosting group.
Coaching in Detroit, we loved our music there. Motown, man. Motown, Stevie Wonder and Company, Diana Ross, Four Tops. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? The Temptation, Marvin Gaye. It goes on and on and on. And some of those guys came to my practices.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
That's
Smokey
awesome.
Gaines knew them all. Former Globetrotter Hall of Famer. He used to bring guys around. It's unreal. Oh, nice little dish inside.
Avery Anderson turns it over on the carom.
You know, I said it earlier, and I really believe it, Bob, and I don't know if you agree with me. I think this game is much more important right now to Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma State doesn't want to hear that, I know, because it's important to them as well. But with the game going Monday back at Oklahoma State, you got to win this game on your floor. You got to win this game at home. Because you lose this, you can possibly lose 2 then. You got to get the game right now here. You're up 7. You got to take command of this game. And on the other side is where, unfortunately, you got to put the pressure right now. Cade Cunningham, if they're going to come back, he's got to rally them to the winner's circle.
9 to shoot. Harkless with 5 on the timer. Shot fake at the elbow, and that's an air ball. That'll go over to Oklahoma State. Well, the Pokes have won 3 in a row. Kansas State, Iowa State, Texas Tech in overtime. And, of course, Oklahoma is coming off of, by far, you'd think, their worst loss of the season when they only scored 57 points on Tuesday night in a loss to Kansas State.
Yeah, unbelievable right there. They were a surprise. Bruce Weber. I hope that the ADs out there, mentioned Bruce Weber, are really sensitive to the fact of what these coaches had to face this year with the pandemic and what they had to deal with and delays, pausing the programs, and making decisions about coaches. I think it's very unfair. I just saw, for example, a coach was let go in New Mexico. He didn't even play at home games. I mean, come on now. That's really unbelievable. I think you've got to be really sensitive to that issue and really understand what they're going through, because it's a tough time for many a coach with that, dealing with certainly with COVID-19.
Cade Cunningham could go down as one of the greats. We're going to talk about one of the all-time greats for OU when we come back.
Kevin Connors, Coach Seth Greenberg in studio. No Ayo Dosunmu. Illinois wins again, 21 for Franz Wagner. Michigan wins, and Coach, Tuesday on ESPN. What a matchup.
Put on your big boy pants. Hunter Dickinson, obviously Kofi Cockburn. You say that there are no big guys in college basketball. There are legitimate big guys in college basketball. Cockburn, the experienced one. This game could be decided by the big athletic wings of Michigan.
Dickinson gets Garza, Trace Jackson Davis, and Cockburn in consecutive games.
Bring them on!
All right, guys, 7-point lead for Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. Bob Wischusen and Dick Vitale. And Dick, it's hard to believe. All the way back in 2009, we lost Wayman Tisdale, a 3-time All-American at Oklahoma, and certainly worthy of all the Sooner love, the first player to be named to the team. 3 times a gold medalist in 1984. You even have a special memory and relationship with Wayman Tisdale. He was an accomplished musician as well.
Yeah, he accomplished musician, Grammy Award winner, just tremendous. I was honored receiving the humanitarian award, the Wayman Tisdale Humanitarian Award, the first one, and I was really just touched there. The emotion that was there. It was about a year after he had passed. Toby Keith was there, the outstanding country western singer, and he sang, if people want to get touched, boy, just Google Toby Keith singing at Wayman Tisdale's funeral. They wrote a special song for his friend. They were super tight, real close. I mean, you can't get through the first verse of the song without shedding tears. Wayman was as special as it gets. I'm telling you, his smile. He used to always grab me. I swear to God, I'd do games there. I'd go in with Tubbs and him, and he would put his arm around me and say, Dickie V, I love all the stuff you say about me. It's so nice of you. And, we don't get that a lot in announcing, but he was so genuine. And I'll tell you this, when I did my Mount Rushmore book, which we sell to raise dollars for kids battling cancer, and you pick the 4 best coaches, 4 best players, I had people get on my case saying, how come Wayman Tisdale wasn't one of those 4? And I had my 4 were Ralph Sampson, was Leitner, was Ewing, and was Jordan. And then people said that Tisdale could have been there, and he could have been there, because his numbers were unbelievable at Oklahoma. And unfortunately for him, he didn't win Player of the Year because he was at the same time with Ralph Sampson, who was a 3-time winner. He also was same time with Ewing, and it just was tough, but he was special. Oh, I miss him. He would have been a giant in the music profession.
Passed away at the age of 44 due to complications from his fight against cancer. That Bryce Williams 3 makes it a 4-point game here in Chapter 1 of Bedlam. These two teams will meet again on Monday night in Stillwater. Here comes Avery Anderson to try to make this a 1-possession game. Midway through the second half, takes a bump, gives it up. And now Bryce Williams from the corner, back-to-back triples for Bryce Williams. And all of a sudden, a game that Oklahoma at one point led by 10 has now been cut down to 1.
Bob Cunningham, we know about the great games he's had, but they've had individuals come up big for him as well. Walker's had 20 at Iowa State. Moncrief's had 22. The kid Langley had 22 against West Virginia. Williams, who just hit that shot, had 17 against Kansas. Boone had 22 against Texas. So they got different players. It's like Mike Boynton told me, we get some players, other than Mr. Cunningham. Not to downgrade Mr. Cunningham, because he's obviously the catalyst, but they got a variety of guys that could score. And they've had a good year, and they should be in the NCAA big dance. There's Williams.
The transfer from Ole Miss It was knocked down back-to-back threes. Now he puts it on the deck, and it's taken away by Harkless. Harkless will go to the free throw line.
So one thing, if people hear the name Harkless, they're going to think a little bit, is he related to the kid that played at St. John's, played in the NBA, still in the NBA? From I would have been told, no relation.
Well, Dickie V, how about the books to try and raise some money for children battling cancer?
Yeah, the Mount Rushmore book and the Lost Season, and basically all the dollars, just go to dickvitale.com and you can get a copy, and all the money goes to the V Foundation for kids battling cancer. So let's just go to dickvitale.com. Help us. Nothing worse than seeing kids battling that disease.
And they called that last foul on Cunningham, his first, and they called that foul on the floor. Here's Cunningham for three. Oklahoma State's got the lead.
He's clutch, man. He's a clutch player. He likes the end of the game situations. He's been really a solid player most of the year, especially the second half. And he's a leader. He's constantly out there really trying to go after players about doing certain things. Great leadership, and not in a nasty way. He does it in a really positive way. When you get your star doing that, that just helps the whole team.
Avion Harmon has 17, and he will go to the free throw line. How about this step back by Cade Cunningham?
Yeah, he's so methodical too. Look at this right here. Not just now he's going to step back, go between the legs, step back, under control, squares the body, great arc, nothing but net. Nothing but nylon. Mr. Cunningham. Oh, talking about a bank account that's going to go ding-a-ling-ding, ding-a-ling-ding. I want to come for the ride. Can I be your chauffeur? A ding-a-ling-ding, baby.
He's just about on his per-game average, and we still have 9 minutes to go.
More than that is the fact that he's brought this club back. They were on the ropes big time, down 11. It looked like they really had lost their rhythm. And remember, they're playing without a key player. I can't emphasize that enough. That kid likely preparing for the game. Steals, defensively, toughness, pass the ball. Are you kidding me?
The free throw line.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, come on, man. You talk about savvy and patience, and he makes shots. He makes shots. The question mark was, can he shoot? Well, look at the numbers. And he faces every kind of tough defense you could possibly face.
Reeves just about answered with the left hand, but how about the patience of Cade Cunningham here?
Well, you know, he's the 3P man. Watch this right here. Look at the patience. He's going to go in here. He's going to wait. He's going to spin. He's going to patient, poise, and then points. Patience, poise, and points. He's the 3P man.
Austin Reeves to the line. 2 shots.
I could add another 4th P to what he does to the opposition.
I thought usually with you, the 4th P would be paycheck.
Oklahoma State's Moncrief, number 12.
Moncrief back in the game as Cade Cunningham rings the bell for 20 for the 10th time this season already, and we still have about 8.5 minutes to go. Reeves, a very rare miss for the #1 free throw shooter in the Big 12 at the line. He's got 15.
You know, and Cunningham's 20, you know, it's a quiet 20. It's not really, it's a quiet 20.
Reeves up in the air for the rebound.
He's not on the floor right now, but Oklahoma's got to get mad and going somehow, somewhere. They're going to need him big time.
For 3, Cunningham. He's off the mark, and Queft able to save it, but saved it right under the basket to Rondelle Walker.
That's a tough place to try to save the basketball right there, under the opponent's basket. Gets a little assist on that play. See the 1-1? The 1-1, now a drop back to get the point to the top of the key, and it becomes a 2-3.
There's a Walker steal.
Should have went to the foul line again big. But Mac Trunk at that foul line.
Cunningham feeling it, creates some space along 2. That won't go. Rondelle Walker draws a foul on the offensive rebound, so it will be Oklahoma State ball when we come back. A 1-point lead for the Pokes over OU. It is bedlam between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Big second half already for Cade Cunningham. Back after this message and a word from our ABC station. In Stillwater, and Dickie V. Cade Cunningham has 20 to lead all scores.
He really has done an incredible job. Really poised, understands how to play, and wants to win. I love the unbelievable competitiveness that he possesses. I think of Oklahoma
He gets
State,
even
man.
better. He actually gets even better in the second halves of games. He averages about 4 more points and shoots about 8% higher from the field in the second half as opposed to the first half. So we'll see if he puts on a show in the second half today. Putting on a show from 3 is Bryce Williams. That's his 3rd second half made 3.
Yeah, Bryce Williams has stepped up big with 3. He stepped up big in a couple of games already this year for them, especially against Kansas. Played really well. I'm going to tell you this. Really, when I think of Oklahoma State, I think of the year Eddie Sutton took them to the Final Four with Big Country. Remember that 95?
Sure.
Over the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Oh, the strip right here. Here we go.
And an easy deuce for Rondelle Walker. And Oklahoma State extends their lead.
Rondelle Walker says, he looks at the bench basically and says, hey, you guys didn't want to recruit me. Yeah, and played a little chip on his shoulder tonight. Walker and the Boone guys, they weren't recruited by Oklahoma. They played high school basketball in Oklahoma.
Reeves to the wing. Alondas Williams. And the follow by Kirk Webb. Wow.
What a tremendous offensive rebound. Tremendous timing.
Walker turns it over.
Turnover.
Harkless.
Bounce pass.
Got caught in midair. Can Reeves save it? He does to Queth. What a play by Reeves. Alondas Williams. Plus the foul. One play by Austin Reeves to keep the possession alive.
Take a look at the timing right here. Watch this timing. Oh, got it, baby. Are you kidding me? Look at that timing. What an unbelievable play. That's Quith right there, Kerr. And look at the hustle. Look at this hustle. Are you serious? That's hustle big time. Then the fake. Good, unbelievable fake right there. Good ball fake. What a turnaround. They got 6 quick points. I just hustle. Hustle, hustle, hustle.
Just a moment ago, Oklahoma State had their largest lead at 6. So 5 quick ones from OU make this a 1-point game.
Well, just what we said, the Bedlam, baby, the Bedlam battle. Here it is, Sooners and the Cowboys. Who's going to prevail?
Cunningham out of the double team.
He's always going to be doubled.
Here's Cunningham again. 7 to shoot. Behind the back, picks up his dribble. 4 on the shot clock. This one's going to have to be forced. And it's off the mark, and Queth's got the rebound, and OU with a chance to take the lead.
Queth's really stepped up for
fouled on a slight little bump by Bryce Williams.
Yeah, you're being kind here, very slight. We don't see Manick on the floor. So Manick's got to get back that swag, and he's got to get back some confidence if his team's going to finish strong. He's struggling right now. The last few games is really struggling.
He's got 1 point and 3 fouls. He's missed all 3 of his field goal attempts. And that coming off of a game against Kansas State where he only scored a couple of points and was 0 for 5 from 3 as well. So right now, OU is trying to play without Brady Manick.
A player.
A nice steal again by Harkless. Here's Reeves attacking the basket. Rolls off the rim, and Cunningham has the rebound. And it looks like we have an injury to Bryce Williams. He went down hard.
You know, really right now you get to winning times where superstars really step up. PTP is the prime time performers. Love this time of the game. He's concerned right there for his teammate. Well, you see Cunningham trying to help his teammate up. He's a beautiful kid to coach, man. I'm going to tell you, you just watch all the body language, the reaction with his coaches and players.
Ouch.
Oh, wow, tough fall there.
And just inadvertently had the legs taken out from under him by Austin Reeves.
He's all right. I'm going nowhere. I'm staying on the court, man. I'm staying on the court. I'm going to help my club right now. This is the Bedlam battle. This is the Bedlam battle. Bryce Williams, he has really done a great job in this game. He's made 3 big threes here in the second half.
The lob to Cunningham. Surrounded by Sooners and draws a foul.
notice how they now utilize him. They invert him. They take him from the perimeter, put him to the inside, take advantage of his size, a little mismatched size-wise, trying to guard him. And then he's going to go to the free throw line. It's been tough all year. Look right here. They're trying to post inside. Good hands to make that catch.
Also an 84% free throw shooter.
Got the rebound on the other end. Came back on this end. Step into the line. He's lived up to the billing, I'll tell you that. He's even better than advertised. He's better than advertised.
Well, we had him as our #1 player on our ESPN 100 high school recruiting board. And now we've got him as the #1 player on our ESPN NBA draft board as well.
Yeah, I remember Paul Biancardi told me about him last year. Just raved about him on Guru Henderson High School.
Reeves lost it and then committed a foul. So it will be free throws again for Oklahoma State.
Reeves is having a tough game in this game. He's playing his heart out. He reminds me of a kid like McClung. They play so hard. They play with such unbelievable intensity and emotion. And they take beatings because everybody really centers around him. He's had a terrific year this year, Austin Reeves. This would be a tough loss for Oklahoma, Bob, especially coming off the loss to Kansas State and back home, and the situation we're up 11. This could be a bad loss.
Here's an interesting button that Lon Kruger is pushing. He's going to trust his senior, although he has been in the tall weeds. That's Brady Manick, and he is going to put him back in the game when we come back with 4:42 to go. Tonight, arguably, #2 Baylor, #17 Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse as the Bears back in action. They have ridden the COVID roller coaster, to say the least. No dogs the rest of today. Nothing but good games. And this is a good game as well. Bedlam, the first of 2 in 3 days between Oklahoma State and OU. And the Pokes have a 5-point lead with 4:42 to go. Bob Wischusen and Dick Vitale. And Dickie V, this has been a game of momentum swings. At one point, Oklahoma had a 10-point lead.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hey, Bob, can they hear me in Waco, Texas? I don't think so, right? Because my VBDI is telling me loud and clear. Upset City tonight. It's telling me Kansas wins that game tonight up there. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting all kinds of vibes. My ball dome is exploding with that. And I love the people in Waco. I love certainly Coach Drew. I think the world of him. And I wouldn't want to hear me say that. But you think he can hear me in Waco?
Yes. Umoja Gibson, by the way, with his third three. That's a big one. And makes this a 2-point game. Cunningham fades away. Got it.
See what they did? How intelligent is that? Right now they need points, and you got to criticize his brother right there, but his coach, Coach Boynton, making that kind of call. They invert him, bring him down into the low post at 6'8", and with his touch shoot the little fadeaway jump shot. That's just great coaching. That's a great move right there.
By Reeves, finishes with the left hand.
He's a tough, tenacious driver. Slash, you got to like him. I'm sure Mr. Greenberg would like to have him up at Virginia Tech. He'd like to have him in his lineup. I would have liked to have him in the pros. Maybe both of us wouldn't be in TV. We'd still be coaching.
Cunningham in a scramble for it. Harkless on the deck. That's normally where he ends up trying to make hustle plays. It is out of bounds, it looks like, off of Harkless. 11 to shoot for Oklahoma State when we come back. Bedlam, it's a 2-point game.
Now watch this. Turn, face the guy, and step back with the little J. Big time. Oh, you be going to be talking about him in the NBA. You and Mr. Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. You're going to have fun talking about this guy. Mike Breen's going to lead you guys into this, and you're going to love every moment of it. He is for real. He is the real deal.
Looking to add to it here with a 2-point lead. Leans in, uses the glass. His own follow won't go, but there is the tip follow.
Oh, jeez. What a play he made. What an incredible fake to get free for that little shot off the glass that didn't go down, but they can do offensive rebound.
His season high is 29 back against Oral Roberts earlier this season. As Reeves drives, he can't hit. And Cade Cunningham has 26 points end the ball with 2:52 to go.
And really no forced shots, Bob. It's not a guy that's shooting up volume shots in terms of big numbers. He takes quality shots.
Here he is for three. That won't go. That makes him 9 for 16 in the game. So he's shooting better than 50% from the field.
That was a good shot right there, just didn't go down.
Nice drop by Davion Harmon.
He's been a star all day for them. Harmon with that strong drive. He's got that toughness about him, right to the goal. That's the way it's supposed to be. The Bedlam, baby. The Bedlam, they hook it up again on Monday night as well. Like Boynton said, I don't like that. I don't like that. He respects them, but he don't like them. He wants to beat them, and they want to beat him.
Harkless is fired up as he tries to lock up Cade Cunningham. 9 to shoot. Both teams are over the limit with 8 fouls apiece. The possession arrow belongs to Oklahoma State. Each team with timeouts remaining as well. And a 2-point game. So a lot to happen in the final 2 minutes. Cunningham needs a screen. He gets it. Manek jumps out. Bullets a pass down low. Missing the layup was Boone. Looking for his own miss. Manek rips it away.
That pass was unbelievable. He used the screen really well. They doubled up on him and immediately found the open man. They just didn't convert right there. Tough break on the inside. Trying to spread the court up for a one-on-one maneuver right here by Reeves.
Reeves up and under around Moncrief. Back outside Harmon for 3. Brady Manek kept it alive. And he rolls one in.
Manek, maybe that'll give him a little boost right now. Oh, does a kid need that? You root for a kid like that. I remember having him as a freshman. He was a real good player with a heck of a future. And he's just in a little bit of slump right now. And he's got to get back out of it. It's up to him. No one but him. He got to make it happen.
Cunningham on the drive to give Oklahoma State the lead. Coming up on 1 minute to go.
Can't be shocked right there. He's Mr. Clutch. He loves the ball when the game's on the line. And that was a tough drive because he shot that right over Manek. And Manek had his 2 hands in an umbrella fashion. Really a tough drive.
Von Kruger calls one of his 3 remaining timeouts. We'll come back in 30 seconds. We're back in Big 12 now on ESPN+. A must-have for Big 12 fans. Tuesday, number 14 Texas takes on Iowa State. TCU against Texas Tech. Both of those games at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Thursday, it's number 10 West Virginia hosting TCU at 7 Eastern. And if you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. Bob Shoes and Dick Vitale watching Bedlam. And if this Dickie V is a sign of things to come, Monday and Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. Tuesday, number 14 Texas takes on Iowa State. TCU against Texas Tech. Both of those games at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Thursday, it's number 10 West Virginia hosting TCU at 7 Eastern. And if you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. Bob Shoes and Dick Vitale watching Bedlam. And if this Dickie V is a sign of things to come, Monday night's going to be special as well. We come to expect this when these 2 teams get together. A terrific rivalry game, 2-point game, a little over a minute to go.
You know, I get a kick out of this. There's a headline right here. I don't think you guys can see it. I was preparing for the game, and I went through this. Unbelievable in the Tulsa world. Headline: we don't like them. There it is. Frank Bonner wrote the article, Tulsa world, and there's Mr. Boynton said, we don't like him. I'm not making that up, man. He's right here. I know one thing. He's going to like him a lot better if he can leave there and leave Sooner country with a W, like a fierce competitor. He's done a great job here. It's not been easy. Some of these programs, it's a little tough. They had a great moment, I said, with Eddie Sutton. I'll never forget 95 going to the Final Four.
Harkless for 3. He knocks it down to give Oklahoma the lead.
Harkless and also Harmon have been so big. The H guys, H squared, H2, H2O, baby. Hey. Harkless with a big 3.
Cunningham. Deep puts Oklahoma State back on top with under 40 seconds to go.
What a performance we're seeing. What a clutch performance. And he does it with such poise. I call him the 3P man. Poise, patience, and points. And does he deliver? And talk about a guy that's living up to the expectations and the unbelievable reviews. He's done it all today. He's done it all.
And Dickie V, this is a career high for Cade Cunningham. Outside the arc and two-point land as well. He's got 30.
He's got 30 and everyone is needed. I know one guy, if he was watching, would love watching this kid play. King James, LeBron James. This is the LeBron James kind of player. Guy that wants to take the shot, big-time player, can do it in a variety of ways, multi-dimensional. It reminds me when I first saw LeBron, his first high school game. I turned to the big redhead, Bill Walton. We did it with Dan Schumann, and I said, better than advertised. I mean, I didn't expect to see what I see, and he made Oak Hill. He made Oak Hill a great program with great players, look like they didn't belong on the floor with him in high school. He was that good. And he's lived up to every bit of it. And this kid's going to be a star. I made a prediction earlier, and I'll live by it. He will be an all-star his second year in the league. Third year around it, third year. I got to bet the third year. The VBI just reminded me. Third year in the league, he's an all-star. And that's saying a lot because that league is loaded with talent.
Austin Reeves rejected. Is it out? Off of Reeves. It is. Cade Cunningham was there again.
He rotated over. He just wants to win, man. I mean, everybody wants to win. But this is a star player. He's not just caught up with his stats and caught up with the fact that he's going to probably be the first player. Look at him rotate over. Look at him rotate over. Look at him rotate over. He says, no, thou shalt not enter thy lane. Thou shalt not enter thy lane. My name is Cade Cunningham. Haven't you read about me? Haven't you read about me? I'm a star. I'm S-T-A-R. Dickie V calls me a solid gold PTP, a primetime performer.
He's got a double-double, his second of the season. His first double-double this year was all the way back in the opening game. So when you look at the better teams they've played and conference play as well, he's putting on a show today. This is his best game of the season, and that's saying a lot for a player that leads the Big 12 in scoring. But 30 points and 10 rebounds. He has been a force today, and he's got Oklahoma State on top by 1 with 24 seconds to go.
And remember, there's a lot at stake here. I mean, there's two teams that really get after the intensity, emotion. I mean, you got seeding, you got Oklahoma coming off a loss to Kansas State. They were number 7 in the country coming into this week. As Lacroix, who I really believe has Hall of Fame status in what he's achieved at 5 different schools.
And supposedly Cade Cunningham spread the word, Dickie V, that you were calling his game today. He was fired up to have you on the mic.
Oh, where'd you find that out?
He knew. I've got sources.
Wow. Tell you one thing, they better get Mr. Manic to stop being Mr. Manic, the player that we all know can shoot the 3. And here it goes. See the way he meets the ball?
Cunningham in the backcourt is able to get it to Rondelle Walker. They get it across the timeline, and now Oklahoma has to give the foul. Davion Harmon does just that. And Bryce Williams, 74% free throw shooter so far this season, will go to the line. It is still a 1-and-1. That's team foul number 9.
You know, Bob, a lot of players would not have made the play that was just done down there in getting and receiving the pass. Stepping to the ball rather than waiting for the ball to come to him. Cade Cunningham went after that basketball, and as soon as he caught it, the double team came in right out of his hands. He knew where his teammate was. Those are little things that separate the great ones from the average players.
Oklahoma State has been terrific at the line. They are now 13 of 15 at the free throw line for the game, and they are 10 for 10 in the second half.
We talk so often about the free throw line being so vital. Well, right here now.
Their first second half miss, so here comes Reeves. 13 seconds to go. It's a 2-point game. Reeves, he'll drive it again. Gives it up to Manic. Manic banks it in to tie the game with 7 seconds to go. Here comes Cunningham. It looks like they're going to let him play it out. He lost the ball. It's in the backcourt. Reeves tries to save it. It goes to zeros, and we will have overtime in Bedlam.
And what did we say during the break? What did we say to each other during the break? We said we're heading for OT today. Did we not say it? We did. Oh, nice play by Reeves. That pass, terrific pass.
Oklahoma State, they're undefeated so far this season in overtime. About to play their fourth. Able to outlast Texas Tech on Monday in overtime. They also have wins over Texas, a couple over Texas Tech in overtime. They won on Saturday, January 2nd in Lubbock, and then Monday at home. Bob Wischusen, Dick Vitale headed to overtime, and Dickie V, this at the end, a spot where they give it to Cade Cunningham and let him take over.
Well, great play right there by certainly Reeves was terrific in that situation to make that play. Yeah, Cunningham right now, this is overtime period. They're 3-0 in overtime. It just amazes me when I think about Florida State being 11-0 in their last 11 games that were overtime. Unbelievable to do that.
Well, Oklahoma has an overtime win, double overtime, a couple of Saturdays ago at West Virginia. So they're 1-0 in overtime. Oklahoma State is 3-0 in overtime, and they have leaned on Cade Cunningham today, and it has paid off. 30 points and 10 rebounds, and he has come up big in other games this season as well. He's got several game winners. This one against Wichita State.
You mentioned Wichita State. They just honored and gave a contract to their interim coach. And I really think it was really a great move on their part because he has done a great job, Isaac, down there. He's done a terrific job with that program. It was an absolute uproar there when he took over.
Harkless for three.
Screen it inside. Now he's going to slide into the interior.
Instead, Williams tries a three. He's got another. Bryce Williams, his 4th three in the second half and overtime.
Yeah. He's got a nice touch, too. Good follow through. I love the driving ability of Reeves, and he's always aware where teammates are when he's in there and he can't shoot the basketball and convert. He's finding open people. Play he made at the end was a dazzler to get the ball to Manning.
Avion Harmon, 23 for Harmon.
How big has he stepped up in this game? Made some big, big shots in this game.
Avery Anderson on the drive. That's good.
How strong was that drive? He spotted a gap in the defense. He saw that gap, and he just exploded down the lane. We got a good one, man. We got a real good battle here. It is bedlam. There is no doubt about it.
Reeves from deep. Yes. Tie game.
I mean, we've been singing the praises, certainly, of Cade Cunningham, and deservedly so. But Reeves deserves a lot of praise, too. This kid is a legitimate big-time college player.
He's got 20 or better for the 4th consecutive game.
He moved him over to the point guard slot. He's been a great asset.
Cunningham. He draws the foul.
Take a look at Reeves right here, number 12. Has the ability to shoot the jumper as well as drive. And you got that going for you. That's a great combination that really helps you become a scorer.
You talk about Cunningham living up to expectations. Austin Reeves was second only to Jared Butler in terms of players returning to the Big 12 this year based on what they scored last year. Jared Butler was the only returning player that averaged more points per game last year than Austin Reeves did. So they knew they were going to have to lean on him, and he has come up big time this year.
Well, you got to appreciate the talent and the unbelievable leadership ability of Cunningham. I've been around the game now. I've been calling ESPN my 42nd year, and you don't see many come along like him. Look at that foul line area. You got to slide somebody in that foul line area, right where Manick is.
Reeves, double teamed. Harmon steps inside, sets up Manick for three.
That's Manick! That's Manick! That's Manick! And he caused the fans to get a little maniac, whatever the word is.
It's Cunningham. His floater is good.
Oh, wow. Cunningham says, "Are you kidding me? Are you serious?" He's like, "Are you serious?" Wow. One great play after another. Mr. Cunningham, are you for real, baby? Look at this action right now. He can take the ball right to the goal. Watch this. Oh, man, great first step. Then he has the ability to stop on a dime, the little J. Think he's earning his scholarship? Think he's earning that scholarship room, board, and books?
And Elijah Harkless comes up lame. That's why the game stopped for a moment. So Harkless, it looks like maybe he's working out a cramp holding the back of his right leg. So that's a player that they're going to want to work on that cramp and get him back in the game, because he affects the game in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he's been real big here. He and Harmon have done a great job for them. Now, these teams really play almost with like 4 guards.
Reeves, a tough shot that he knocks down.
And we're watching 2 guys going at it who really want the ball. When you look at Reeves and Cunningham, they both want the ball, and they missed the clutch.
Cunningham for 3. That rims out. Offensive rebound, Rondelle Walker. Lost it along the sideline. And it looks like they will say it was poked away, so it will stay with the Pokes. Down by 1 in overtime here in Bedlam with 1:52 to go. And now a timeout has been called.
Hey, Bob, what a great day. Got Louisville, Duke coming up, Kansas and Baylor. In fact, I mentioned Kansas and Baylor. I just got a text. Rob Lemley, who I love, one of our great producers at ESPN. He said, Dickie V, Baylor by 30. Come on, Lem, you don't believe that. By 30. Come on, Lem. You're better than that.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody go against the VBDI with that much enthusiasm, right? I mean, that is showing major disrespect to the VBDI as they're going to go to the monitor here to see if that ball was poked away or if it should stay with Oklahoma State.
This is a good reason to go to the monitor, really. We have some situations where, I mean, this is a good reason to go. You got to make sure right now you get all these calls the right way.
Yeah, certainly looked like Harmon reached around and poked it out of the hands of Rondelle Walker.
Yeah, I would say the ball belongs to Oklahoma State. Rondelle Walker, we talked about earlier, big article about the fact that he and the Boone brothers were really upset that they did not get recruited in their home state by Oklahoma. I mean, you can only recruit so many players. It's not the coaches sometimes don't like a kid. It's the bottom line is there's no availability.
Well, Oklahoma State offered the Boone twins before they ever played a varsity game in high school. So they were in early and very enthusiastically on both Caleb and Keelan Boone, and I guess that type of dedication paid off as they both chose to come to Stillwater. Let's see what John Higgins comes away with here. Ian Marcus Pettigrew. And now Gary Maxwell is going to go over and join the conversation. Looks like they're still not 100% sure whether Davion Harmon got a piece of this basketball or Rondelle Walker just dribbled it out of bounds.
You know, Bob, think about it. The best ability is availability. It's a big call right here. My look would have the ball to Oklahoma State. But these guys don't seem to be certain, and they're trying to reach back all 3, going over and over and over.
Yeah, then you probably should just stick with the call that was made on the floor.
Right. It's that. You're supposed to do that. You can't come up with a
the original reason that they put instant replay into any sport was to correct the obvious mistake.
Right.
And if this is a 50-50 call, then you stick with the call that's made on the floor. I don't know, we'll see who ends up with the basketball. But this is a long delay with just under 2 minutes to go in overtime. It is going to stay with Oklahoma State.
Now, we were, with one eye, in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, was able to determine that. That's amazing. Here we go.
Caleb Boone gives it up. Cunningham posts up.
See, if you double him now, he'll find the open man.
Spins, fades, off the rim, offensive rebound, and the putback back is there for Boone.
What a play by Boone. What a play by Boone. Right now, he makes that big play to give him the lead, and he's like, I know what he's saying to himself. You guys didn't even come after me. You didn't want me. My brother and I, we might have been interested in wearing that Sooner uniform. Instead, he's happy now wearing a Cowboy uniform. Good offensive rebound. It's been a fun game
Harmon
to do,
to the free
Robert.
throw line. 8 to shoot. Hill steps inside. He has it taken away by Cunningham. Cunningham goes at Reeves. Lost it. And they will call a foul on Austin Reeves.
Good contact on the body. Nice defensive play with the steal. Kruger play. A lot of Kruger right now knows this kid plays on both sides of the floor. Look at the steal. He steps right in. Now he's going to go to the goal. I don't think the foul was on Reeves, though, was it?
They called it on Reeves. That's his second. Cade Cunningham just came up with Oklahoma State's 10th steal. And he is nearly perfect at the free throw line.
He just gets better and better as the game goes on and on.
He's got 35 of Oklahoma State's 87.
It's one of the best performances I've seen thus far this year in a clutch game. Because remember, every point here means so much. And you got such a rivalry game. Bragging rights, man, in the state. Right, for little bragging rights, and then they hook up again on Monday night. You got the call on that game, do you not?
I do. Excited for it. Based on what we're watching right now, yeah, it'll be great. Coming up on a minute to go. 3-point lead for Oklahoma State. Here's Reeves. Spinning in the lane. Gets tied up. Hits the front of the rim. Cade Cunningham. Fouled again by Reeves.
That was a tough shot for Reeves right there. Defense did a great job really suffocating Reeves on the interior. He did a great job cutting off that shot. The defense, I thought, was outstanding by Mike Boynton's kids. Watch the defense right here. Watch them all converge on him as he goes to the goal. They all converge. He's got two guys all around. Had no chance. No chance. Right then, he should have been looking for an open teammate, which he normally does. He's a winner, though, the kid. You can see he's just a fierce competitor. This guy's like money on the bank on the free throw line. Wow.
He's 9 for 10 today.
He missed one. Well, he missed one. 10 for 11.
He's got 37 points and 11 rebounds. The first, rather 38 points and 11 rebounds. The first time he's been over 30 this season. A deep three and a foul called. Umoja Gibson that close to a chance for a 4-point play. That's a bad foul by Avery Anderson.
Real bad play. I think many times kids don't understand. Score a game, situation, what's going on, and just play. They just play. There's no reason to go there and bother him on that shot.
And that's Anderson's 4th. He's the first player for either team to get to 4 fouls. Gibson, a 70% free throw shooter, knocks down the first 2. And he can make this a 2-point game.
Well, you stop the clock. Just a bad play. Sometimes kids just don't concentrate. Score, time, situation. Those 3 things you got to know what's happening coming down late in the game.
Umoja Gibson comes up big. We'll step aside, come back with the last 47 seconds of overtime in just a moment. For the Pokes now, for the Sooners, they also have played an overtime game this season. Beat West Virginia on February 13th in double overtime on the road. So whoever loses today is going to suffer their first overtime loss of the season.
Well, right now you got a scenario where if they go for the defensive stop Oklahoma and get the ball back, possible drive by Reeves, we could have a double OT. Double OT.
And this was the end of regulation time where Oklahoma was down. We talked about Cade Cunningham. We also talked about Austin Reeves, and it's been a duel, Dick.
That's been a real duel. There's Clutch, Mr. Clutch, and Mr. Reeves says, anything you do, you can do, I can do too. So here it is. Gonna watch this drive. Watch this drive. And then he dishes the ball around to Mr. Manic, who comes in and gets a deuce, a big deuce. Can they duplicate that? But first, they got to come up with a defensive stop. And they better not foul. They better not foul Mr. Cunningham, because he's been on fire on the free throw line.
22 points for Austin Reeves. He's been clutch at the free throw line in the second half as well.
He's really taking advantage of transferring and really taking advantage of the fact that Lon Kruger moved him over to the point guard slot and allow him to do his thing, and he's doing it very well all year long. And you know where they're putting the ball. You know where they're going to put the ball, in whose hands? He's so confident. He's got that swag that stars have. He's got that swag. And Oklahoma come over to stop and get the ball back, baby. Can they come up with that stop?
Harkless back in the game to try and harass Cunningham. He kicks it to the wing. Bryce Williams. That hit the side of the backboard. Boom. Runs down the loose ball.
He gets the 50-50 ball.
And a timeout called.
Great
So we're
effort
back
right
in a
there,
position
Butler.
where Oklahoma's probably going to have to foul. 19.7 seconds to go. The shot clock now turned off because Caleb Boone grabbed the rebound off of the long miss by Bryce Williams.
That's just a hustle play. That's how you win basketball games. Get the 50-50 ball. Watch Caleb right now. He goes after the long rebound. He goes after the long rebound. Manning dives for it, hustles for it. But no, here comes Mr. Boone with the ball. A T.O., baby. And now throw the ball into Cunningham, get fouled, make those free throws. That's what they got to do if they want to win. On the other side, if Oklahoma wants to win, they got to come up and hope they come up with a steal on the entry of the basketball.
Oklahoma already over the double foul limit. They've got 10 team fouls, so it's an automatic 2 for both teams the rest of the way.
People said it was going to be bedlam, and man, it's been bedlam. It's been bedlam. It would be a doubly good win for Oklahoma State. One winning on the road, and also winning out one of their stars, likely. Big question on he'll play Monday night.
The last 20 times that this bedlam game has been played in Norman, Oklahoma is 18-2. So it has been tough sledding for the Cowboys to come down the highway to Norman and get a win. But they are 19.7 seconds and maybe some free throws away from starting off a bedlam weekend, 2 games in 3 days with a road win before they take this thing back to Stillwater on Monday night. Let's see what happens here. Can Oklahoma get a steal? They will deny Cunningham as best they can, and it is in. And there is Brady Manick giving the foul on Caleb Boone, who's only a 63% free throw shooter. That's pretty well done by Oklahoma.
Well, Oklahoma did a great job in denying the ball to certainly Cunningham. They didn't allow Cunningham to get free. He tried like heck to get that ball. That was his goal, to get it, but he could not get that ball at all. That's a credit and a timeout by Coach Kruger. Here it is now, gets down to the free throw line.
2 free throws for Caleb Boone, his first trip to the line today. That foul, by the way, on Manick, his 4th. And boy, has Oklahoma State been good at the line as a team. They are now 20 of 23. As now Lon Kruger will call a timeout. A 3-point lead for Oklahoma State over OU. It is bedlam. Abushusen, Dick Vitale. Norman, Oklahoma. 3-point lead for Oklahoma State. Here's the big free throw from Caleb Boone to try and stretch the lead to 4.
Oh, that was money. That's money.
So still a lot of time left. Each team's got a timeout remaining as well.
Put a little pressure on the ball, make him take time off, but don't foul. You don't want to foul.
Will drive it, and with the left hand, can't finish it.
It's over. Game.
Susan, Dick Vitale. Norman, Oklahoma. 3-point lead for Oklahoma State. Here's the big free throw from Caleb Boone to try and stretch the lead to 4.
Oh, that was money. That's money.
So still a lot of time left. Each team's got a timeout remaining as well.
Put a little pressure on the ball, make him take time off, but don't foul. You don't want to foul.
Will drive it, and with the left hand, can't finish it.
It's over. Game done. Finished. Cowboys
Cunningham gets it in the front court, and Cade Cunningham is fouled with 7.8 seconds to go. What a win it looks like this is going to be. Down by 10 at one point for Oklahoma State.
Look at Mike Boynton. His staff's going to love this down there, man. Barry Hinson, a veteran guy. Scott Sutton, another veteran guy. Lon Kruger, heart goes out. Tough loss here. This would be. So 7 seconds to go. This is a little icing right here. What a performance today, though. You know, we saw a brilliant performance. People, you're not going to see many performances as good as what we witnessed today by Mike Boynton Star, who's on the line right now. Cunningham has been absolutely better than advertised. He's been super scintillating sensational. He's been the 3S man, and I haven't used that a great deal this year, but this kid has been the 3S man. He's been super scintillating sensational. Man, special, baby, special.
And Dickie V, is 40 points and 11 rebounds in a Bedlam game any good? Because that's what Cade Cunningham's got.
In an overtime game, too, Bob. That's the best. You know, you find out really what players are, how they perform in clutch times. You know, getting 40 is great no matter what. I mean, come on. Everybody likes to get 40. When you get 40 in a game, you win by 25. That's cool. It's cool. You go out, you feel good about yourself. But get 40 in an overtime game where every point was crunch, every point needed. And we saw leadership. We saw incredible leadership out of him on the floor. He's really, truly what we say often, an extension of a coach.
Well, we'll see how Oklahoma responds on Monday night. As with 2.5 seconds to go, Gibson knocks down one from the corner. And Boone will dribble it out. It'll be an overtime win for Oklahoma State. Their 4th win in the Big 12 this season in overtime, as they beat Oklahoma in Chapter 1 of Bedlam. Chapter 2 coming up at 9 Eastern on Monday night on ESPN. What a performance for Cade Cunningham. A double-double with 40 points and 11 rebounds. Terrific game and a terrific win for the Cowboys. For Dick Vitale, I'm Bob Wischusen saying so long from Norman. Now time to head to the studio and Kevin Connors.